Hello everyone! If you appreciate games where the ways to die are many and varied, then maybe you should check out Falling Out. Yeah, this is a punishing game where the line between life and death is fine. It's a game that really celebrates death. Hell, you can even watch replays of how you died and then see your loved one smiling. It's weird, it's absurd, it's unforgivable, it's challenging, it's Falling Out on Nintendo Switch today actually. I would like to thank the publisher who gave me a copy of this game, and since I haven't had time to play through the whole adventure, I'm making an impression video. The game is released for PC, Xbox, PlayStation and Nintendo Switch, and if you want to buy it for the Nintendo Switch, it's currently $12. Do you see how happy they are? A married couple goes on vacation and visits the pyramids. Unfortunately, they get lost and a few seconds later you see them fighting mummies, scorpions and other life-threatening creatures. But just like in any happy marriage, you benefit greatly from each other, like lifting your partner up and throwing them into a wall. Very effective if you have to jointly eliminate enemies that are in the way, plus you get paid for it. This game is a challenging game in my opinion. There are 3 different levels of difficulty and here I play on the easiest. Even so, I see myself losing over and over again. The fact is, there are so many different things that can lead to game over, so even if you play on easy mode, this is no walk in the park. You take damage if you run into an enemy, fall from a great height, run into death spikes, die from drowning, or perhaps the most disturbing, to stumble upon a trap. Immediately an arrow is shot out, damaging you. And these traps are treacherous. Several times I have seen myself stepping on them just because I was too fast. So, there is a word that permeates this game. Awareness. Situational awareness. Sometimes it can be good to stop for a while, check your surroundings, notice potential dangers and how to avoid them. Running through a level can prove to be associated with a fatal outcome. You don't have access to that much health in the beginning, so patience and awareness of your surroundings can prove to be a winning concept. In this 2-dimensional roguelite, you control your pair in a downward direction and find the exit at the bottom of each level. But you have to be pretty quick. If time runs out, it will flood, which basically means that it will be more difficult to survive. Running out of oxygen is a bad thing. The heroes can double jump, wall jump, throw objects, stomp on enemies and help each other move forward. For example, one can throw their partner to a new ledge and use a rope to help the other. But I discovered that there are risks involved in doing things together. It's almost easier to play through a course with one character and then switch to your partner. The first character creates a path to the goal, the second then runs through the course without any worries. There are probably other better ways to do it, but this worked for me. There are quite a few useful items scattered throughout the levels. For example, bananas, effective in making the enemies stumble, as long as you don't trip over the enemy yourself. Dynamite is useful for blasting downwards. Sometimes a difficult path can be avoided by blasting yourself in a new direction. There is also a shop that sells weapons, life refills and other things. The business appears after a completed course, and sometimes it's necessary to trade in order to survive. It's easy to take damage, so buying health can be crucial to your progression. There are also bosses in the game. I've come across a few and they can be quite busy. This is the first boss I face and it spits out enemies. Really stressful actually, to avoid taking damage while having to eliminate both the enemies and the boss. Challenging, but also fun. For those of you who have played Spelunky on the Nintendo Switch, you would probably recognize yourself in this game. The fact is that there are many similarities. In terms of gameplay, many principles are basically the same. Move downwards, throw objects, dodge or damage enemies, use dynamite to create new paths and fight bosses. Yeah, it's very similar, but at the same time there are differences in that you have to get through the courses with 2 characters. The control also feels very easy to use, and if you lose it, it is due to the human error, not because of a poorly set control. In addition, you can configure the control if you are not satisfied with the presets. Now I have played this game in solo mode, but it's also possible to play co-op or versus. It seems like this is a pretty extensive roguelite, and by roguelite I mean in this case that even if you die, you keep the money you collected and put in a piggy bank. In addition, you can find recipes to craft new weapons. I believe these are also permanent. So this is my impression of this game. I prefer to play in docked mode. I have tested in handheld but had to strain my eyes to get a good overview. Quite difficult actually. But in docked mode everything is clear enough for the experience to be good. But overall my opinion is that this is an okay roguelite worth the price. $14 in the Nintendo's eShop, but currently discounted to $12. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. I review new games every week. Have a good day. See ya!